Hey Toy fans, D21 Beast here, back with another Star Wars review for you guys today. And today we're looking at something that I picked up on Force Friday that really wasn't on my radar, but was kind of an impulse purchase for me. We've got a Star Wars The Force Awakens Micromachine playset of R2-D2. This is something that is definitely different from what I remember Micromachines being when I was a kid. When I was a kid, Micromachines were just a line of vehicles. The playset, like you're seeing here, really reminds me more of the Star Trek Interspace playsets or even Mighty Max toys. I don't remember Micromachines ever delving into playsets when I was younger, at least not the kind that folded open from larger objects. But what we have here certainly piqued my interest. I definitely wanted to pick it up and check it out with you guys. So what say we get R2 out of the box and see what he's all about? Alright Toy fans, so here we've got the R2-D2 playset out of the packaging, and we've got some minifigures here. We have a Chewbacca, and then we have a First Order Snowtrooper little ship here. Now, let's look at the Snowtrooper ship first. What you're going to see here is that there are two Snowtroopers in there. Then they have a mounted turret, which is nice. You've got a darker colored gray inside this little ship that they're in. And then you have even a nice little kind of painted snow splatter there. So that was a nice attention to detail. And their visors have been painted as well. So this is probably the closest thing to an actual Micro Machine, at least as far as I remember them, that's actually included with this set. But it is sculpted and put together pretty nicely. I'm very happy with that little piece. Chewbacca is actually on a little stand here, so he is pretty static, and he's got his crossbow at the ready. He's been molded in this sort of brown plastic. They haven't painted any detail on his belt or on his eyes or anything. You just have black painted on his crossbow. Let's set these to the side here, and then we have this R2-D2 playset. Now this R2-D2 playset looks, front-facing anyway, like a pretty decent R2-D2 toy. He does seem a little bit wide, but really he's painted nicely. He has all the appropriate applications on like the red here and the silver. Nice black there for his lens and even his eye, or I'm not sure which is which, but really he looks like a great R2-D2 just kind of, display piece. Now the legs don't actually move around at all, but when you rotate him around, you're going to notice that he quickly kind of goes flat on the back here because he is designed to lay on his back, and there's even a little foot here to pull out, so when you open the playset, it can kind of rest easily on the ground. So really, even though the proportions are off, I do like the overall look of this R2-D2. Now let's go ahead and get him open. To open him up, you're going to want to turn him sideways here, and you'll flip out that little foot here. Now this doesn't actually serve as any sort of latch to lock the playset closed. It's just a foot and a little sort of a grip that you can get when you're trying to open it. There's also these two little flaps. They're kind of hard to see, but there's two little flaps on either side of R2's dome. So you're going to pull this tab here, and then pull those little tabs on the side, and the playset just opens up nicely. And once you have it open, you're going to want to make sure that this slope over here that already fell down is open. There's also another slope over here on this side, and then we're going to take this sort of glacier piece or ice shelf up here and then move it up. And there is a clear boom stand you're going to see here, and we'll look at that more in just a moment. But let's get a closer look at the detail inside of this playset. Moving across this playset from left to right, you are going to see sort of an ice planet setting, very much reminiscent of the Hoth planet from Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. I don't know that Hoth is actually showing up in The Force Awakens, so this is probably a completely different location. But so much of this movie is a secret, who's to say what this really is? In the center, we do have this sort of ice shelf that I mentioned previously, and you can even see there's a set of steps for Chewbacca to walk up. And then on the right side of this playset, we have what looks sort of like a generator, very similar to what we saw in Hoth. And then there's even some sticker applications, which I don't think I like as much as the actual paint applications that have been applied to the rest of the playset. The stickers seem somewhat uneven, and one of them was already peeling off when I first opened this out of the packaging, and I had to press it back down. I wish everything was painted kind of like the detail we got on the left side of this playset. A large portion of this playset is actually molded in a light teal color, and I think it does a great job of selling the idea of these figures actually being in a snow setting. I think it was a really nice color choice. Now let's talk about that ice shelf again. I had mentioned that there was a boom on top of it, and it's pretty easy to grab the sort of First Order Snowspeeder ship and plug it into the boom on top of this ice shelf. There's actually a hole in the bottom of the ship, and it just plugs in very nicely. And once you get it set on that boom, you can actually rotate it around with a special wheel that's off to the side of the ice shelf, and you've got a pretty cool little flying action set piece. And I can really just picture kids of all ages imagining what this action set piece is going to be like in the movie, as you've got Chewbacca coming into the snow trenches and the First Order flying around trying to take him out. Get him, Chewie! Closing up this playset's pretty easy. All you want to do is make sure that you get the minifigures removed. There's actually no storage for these guys inside. And you remove the First Order Snowtrooper off their boom. Make sure that you fold up that ice shelf, and then the boom will actually kind of slide down and rotate towards the left side of the R2 unit. There's a little set of steps here. You want to fold those up. You want to fold up the ice shelf on here, or the slope here on the right. And then, holding those together, go ahead and fold up the R2 unit. And he does latch pretty nicely once you get him connected. And then, you rotate him around, and you once again have that lovable astromech droid staring right back at you. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Star Wars The Force Awakens Micromachines R2-D2 playset released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, like I said, this playset definitely caught me off guard when I was out shopping on Force Friday, but I'm really glad I picked it up. This was a fun sort of throwback toy for me personally, but I also think it's going to be a pretty fun playset for any kids or kids at heart today. From the looks of the packaging, every playset's going to come with a different character from the movie, so if you get them all, you're going to have a lot of great fun recreating different scenes from the movies with all the different little minifigures you're going to have once you collect more of these sets. Definitely check this out. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, do me a favor and rate and share and subscribe. Also, be sure to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.